First, fair, everywhere. 19 News, your breaking news leader, starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking as we come on the air, America in uncharted territory as President Joe Biden makes the historic announcement that he's stepping away from the presidential race and supporting Vice President Kamala Harris as a Democratic nominee. Good evening. I'm Caitlin McCarthy. The president's decision came amid growing pressure from many in his party, including Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown, after last month's disastrous debate performance. CBS's Natalie Brand has the breaking details.
President Biden has dropped out of the presidential race, ending his bid for re-election just 4 months before the November vote. In a statement, the president said in part, quote, "While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Biden's decision followed a debate performance that prompted more than 36 Democratic lawmakers to urge him to pull out of the race. One of his closest allies, Delaware Senator Chris Coons, called it a very difficult decision.
The challenge of seeing this moment and of recognizing what was in the best interest of the nation was a significant challenge. I still believe he could have beaten Donald Trump.
The president's change of heart comes 1 month ahead of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Jamie Harrison is the chair of the DNC.
This president, Joe Biden, has been a transformational president. He's been a great leader.
President Biden offered his full support and endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris. In a statement, she said she's honored and that it's her intention to earn and win the nomination. Political heavyweights are already backing Vice President Harris, including both Clintons and many members of Congress.
The framework of the race is clear at this point. Kamala Harris is going to prosecute this case for democracy and freedom across the country.
Across the country, voters reacted. From the battleground state of Wisconsin,
Biden dropping out now really kind of changes a lot of what I was thinking as well, having to learn about a new candidate.
To the nation's capital, where some supporters gathered to express their admiration for the president, including David Kiva, who has worked for him.
I'm here today to help to celebrate his legacy and all that he's accomplished on so many issues, including the one that I work on, which is climate.
The DNC says in the coming days, the party will undertake a transparent and orderly process to move forward as a united Democratic Party. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A mix of emotions tonight, even from those who pushed for this to happen, from appreciation to well wishes. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown paying tribute to Mr. Biden, saying, quote, "I thank President Biden for his years of committed service to the country we love, as senator, as vice president, and as president." Ohio Governor Mike DeWine posting on X today saying, quote, "I have known President Biden since 1995 when I entered the U.S. Senate and served with him on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Fran and I wish President Biden and the First Lady all the best as he serves out the remainder of his term and in the years ahead." And Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb responding to Mr. Biden's decision by saying, quote, "Thank you, Mr. President, for being a champion for Cleveland, America's cities, and our democracy during your presidency and over your entire career." Now, with President Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race, local political science experts explain what the top concern may be and how soon Democrats could pick their nominee.
I think the first concern is, how do you get somebody else to be the nominee who then has to turn around and pick a vice presidential nominee, which will also happen at the convention? And how do you come out of that 4-day convention with those two people in hand and a strong united front of Democrats who will work for those candidates in the same way that we saw coming out of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee?
The Democrats may pick their nominee officially on August 1st through a virtual roll call, or they may decide, if it looks like the party has coalesced around Kamala Harris as the nominee, the party may decide simply just to go to the convention and do a conventional roll call, because after all, that'll make for much better television, and it'll be much more historic.
The Democratic National Convention is scheduled to start August 19th in Chicago. President Biden has backed Vice President Kamala Harris for the nomination. And we continue our team coverage with reaction from Northeast Ohio voters. Michelle Nix has that side of the story from downtown Cleveland.
I'm supportive of whatever President Biden wants to do. So if he doesn't want to run and he wants to nominate, the VP, we are looking forward to organizing ourselves as a Democratic Party to support our next nominee.
Surprised but not discouraged by President Biden's decision, Juanita O'Brent is the executive vice president of Cuyahoga County's Democratic Party and a state representative. She believes this challenge for the Democratic Party during one of the most important elections of our time will only serve to unify the Democrats.
I have the utmost respect for President Biden. I am confident that he's a man that understands the gravity of his situation, and I fully support him if that's the decision he thinks what's best for the country.
Clevelanders enjoying America's pastime at Progressive Field tell me it seems American politics have become far more competitive and exhausting than any sport.
About time. I don't know who they're going to pick, but he was not the right choice, and I think he knew that 4 years ago.
Hopefully we can just all get it together. That's all we're worried about, what's best for the country.
Well, I'm a Trump supporter, so I kind of want Biden to stay in the race because I thought Trump had him.
Some just hope the party can get past the chaos so voters can make the best decision.
That was my initial reaction, like, oh, wow, we're in trouble.
Others are determined to move the process forward and support Vice President Kamala Harris for the Democratic nomination.
I'm hopeful and confident they'll select the vice president as the nominee, and I have, being a former prosecutor, I know that she has the ability to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and she'll probably clean the floor with him.
I'm honestly just concerned about the logistics. How will Ohio be able to put a different candidate on the ballot? So even with us reorganizing things, but will this person be on the ballot, whoever the DNC decides to nominate?
Michelle Nix, 19 News.
And you can count on 19 News for continuing coverage as this story develops in the coming days and weeks. Anytime news breaks, you can find it first on the 19 News app.